Who's there?
It's Rachel, Bratty. I'm sure you remember.
Rachel? Rachel Rutherford? But I always loved you.
You love taking orders.
General Bratt, sir, we're at war.
I'm coming. That nightmare again. What's it been, 25 years? 25 years, and I still can't forget Major... Colonel Rutherford. Or Skara. That was a real nightmare. But Rachel, she saved my life. So why do I keep dreaming she's trying to kill me? The High Priestess of the Children of Harris has sent a message to me. Now that she's within striking distance of the capital, she says she wants to avoid killing innocent civilians, determining their fate instead in a clash between our forces. As she believes, wars ought to be waged. I'm to meet her army on the island of Bratt, in the archipelago of Raldhan, northwest of Halwa. The High Priestess also said she hopes I can give her a challenge, unlike the insects she crushed before. I'm sure President Caro took note of the slight, and I'm just as sure she'll blame me for it, as if I need another black mark in her eyes. If only she had the skills of her mother, or half the intelligence. But that's politics, and I have a fight before me. The enemy is battle-tested. My forces are green, and we have no infrastructure in place in that area. We'll stage our forces nearby on Wrath and launch our attacks on Bratt from there. Our forward units have landed on a beach that leads up to a high plain surrounded by cliffs. Intelligence says the cliffs are held by the priestess and her children, and it's a good bet they've got plenty of artillery with them. It's also a good bet that they know the only way up is along one small ravine, because they've defended it to the hilt. The only break we're getting is that the enemy isn't dug in on the plain. Just a few rangers, buggies, infantry, and some vultures. If we stay mobile, we should be able to drive them off the plain without letting the artillery get a fix on us.
Initializing MIL-OP console revision 05345. Terminating MIL-OP console revision 05345.
That High Priestess already wiped out 2 of our best armies, even if they were led by idiots. Yet now, against untested recruits with a minimum of logistical support, she loses. If I had to guess, I'd say she's playing with us. Still, for whatever reason, we've been allowed to taste victory, so morale is high. As for Caro the Second, beloved president of the State Council, I'm already hearing of her displeasure. She fears this victory will make me more popular with the citizens of Halwa, because she thinks I have political aspirations. Me, of all people. For now, I'll ignore her and carry on. We've got the plains. Now we'll take the ravine. That should even the odds a bit and give the High Priestess the fight she said she was looking for. Now speed is of the essence. If we don't take the ravine in one punch, the artillery will finish us off. When we're sure we have the firepower to push through, we'll hit hard and fast, then swing south toward the airport. We'll have to be prepared for counterattacks from the north, though, and we'll need to try to protect the ravine.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345. Terminating
I've had cooks under my command who could put up more of a fight than our enemy. She's not interested in this island, or in defeating me. She's a politician trying to make Caro nervous. That works out fine so far. Kelly, my old friend Kelly, tells me the government papers in Halwa are calling for my removal. Seems their stomachs can't take all the blood I'm shedding. Though unless the children of Harris are all committing suicide, I'm not sure where all this blood is supposed to be coming from. The enemy isn't interested in a real fight, just the threat of one. And the only fight Caro and her cronies seem to care about is getting rid of me. But I'm a general. While everyone else plays to the crowd, I'm going to take the rest of Bratt and destroy any forces that stand in my way. The defenses are going to be tougher than anything we've faced yet, and they've got another airfield that's keeping them supplied. The only way north is through these defenses, but air support should help us there. Recon says something's going on at the cliffs to the west, but they're not exactly sure what it is. Be careful, General.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345.
Sir?
Terminating.
Sir, news from Colonel Kelly's source.
Yes?
It came in as erased video footage, but we made the usual enhancements.
Show me.
I am the High Priestess of Harris, your Spider Queen. All who are free,
Rachel.
follow me.
Good God.
The only good news lately is that Kelly's got someone on the inside.
Rutherford. The nightmare continues. She should be close to 60 years old, but she looks like she hasn't aged at all. But it is her. And even in the chaos of this revelation, things are finally making sense. Protecting civilians. She saved thousands of them on Skara from a leader as stupid as Caro II. I know her hatred for Halwa and its corruption, but I can't imagine how she came to lead this sect. Skara. It never seems to end. And why fight me when she could maneuver President Caro against me? Whatever the reason, it's working. And the state-run news bureaus in Halwa are filled with rumors of my impending court-martial. Kelly's taking the opportunity to ready his Kayan troops under the pretense that the populace may rebel against my crimes, so he should be poised to strike if I need him. He's a fox, that Kelly. A good friend. And I'm glad he's on my side. With Bratt under our control, we'll stage our forces on Barlan, near Valan, the next stronghold Rutherford is daring me to attack. I have no choice but to meet her on the battlefield of her choosing. But at least this time, we won't be landing with green troops. Valan is divided in two by a huge chain of mountains running from the north to the southeast. The only way to reach the other side is blocked by a lake, which Recon says runs underground, so we can't even get a Vulcanum across it. Still, the enemy is present in force on both sides of the mountain range, so we'll have plenty to worry about for the time being. The best landing sites are heavily defended, so we're pushing ashore in the north, at a site ringed by mountains, swampland, and a river. After we take the swamp, we'll push across the river, build a bridgehead there, then destroy the 2 artillery bases nearby. That should give us breathing room and time to regroup before we press on.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345. Terminating Mil-Op console revision 05345.
I can still remember when I first heard about the children of Harris. It was like being told a spider was crawling down my back. Kelly says he felt the same way, which is why he planted a mole in the sect, and it's turning out to be the best idea he ever had. He was worried for a while that the spy had gone over to the children, but he finally got a report, and it's incredible.
Oh, where is it? Come, sweet Andosia. Chase the years and the memories away.
Your drink, High Priestess.
Rutherford's appearance is the result of a drug. The children call it the Andosia, which gives her the body of a young woman and the charisma of a messianic figure. It was only when Rutherford missed a dose the spies saw what she had really become, that he came out of his trance. Well, President Caro's finally gone public, telling the people of Chromos that it's not Rutherford and her children who are a danger to the state, but me. She accuses me of treason. But what am I to do? Resign and leave the fate of the people either to Caro's vain designs or to the despotism that Rutherford represents? Rachel knows I won't back down from a fight, and I don't think she wants me to. That would cripple her plans for me. Whatever they are. I don't have to know what's behind a trapdoor to know it's bad to be standing on one. But Caro, she's too stupid to see it. She still thinks she's calling the shots, but she's just a puppet in Rutherford's hands. I wonder what concessions Rutherford will coerce from Caro as she tightens her grip. Co-despots, no doubt. So we'll take the southern part of Velan and secure our flank. Besides, Recon reports a heavily defended cave in the south, and I want to find out what's going on there. Whatever it is, Colonel Rutherford, High Priestess Rutherford, wouldn't put up defenses like that unless she had good reason. I'm hoping that's how the army of the Children of Harris is moving down from their base in the east. As heavily guarded as it is, we'll need to occupy the hills and find a good site or two for our artillery. Then we can soften up their defenses before we hit them head-on.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345. Terminating Mil-Op console revision 05345.
My hope is that the cave hides a passage through the mountains. We've got to find a way through. I told the men to keep on their toes and be ready for anything, because we don't have a clue what's in there. Draining the lake finally gave us a way to get at Rutherford's HQ. The only problem is, Now she's got a way to get at us. She was waiting for the opportunity. She's aggressively attacking our eastern flank with fast assaults. She's not kidding around now. So we're going to have to fall back before she goes for our throat. If we can withstand her attack, we should be able to strike back just as hard and fast. Kelly sent word that Caro's concentrating her Guardian troops, and I know I won't be able to fight them both at the same time. Time to kick the children off this island, and then we'll fall back to Barlan and prepare to welcome the President.
Initializing MIL-OP console revision 05345. Terminated.
High Priestess, President Caro to speak with you.
Admit her, for the fool she is. Your appeals have been expected.
Then you agree we have a common enemy.
What have you to offer me?
Peace, High Priestess, and lands to rule.
Peace is your desire. Ruling is mine.
I offer the Kayan homelands. Alwa and the Drulian countries will remain with me.
Your mother's homeland. A worthy prize for my children.
As obscene as it is, I've known ever since President Caro began criticizing me publicly that Rutherford would figure out a way to join forces with her. What Rutherford really gains, I don't know, but I'll bet it involves more than just ruling the Kayan countries. How can Caro not see that Rutherford plans to take it all? Kelly. I told Kelly about it, and he thinks it's funny. Just makes him laugh. He said he got an order from Caro to join forces with her, here on Barlan. Rutherford's supposed to show up here as well, so it's a good thing he hasn't exposed his allegiance to me yet. We're going to need the element of surprise. But Kelly's got a long voyage ahead of him, so I'm going to have to dig in between Caro's hammer and Rutherford's anvil until he arrives. If the rest of my troops aren't back from Valan very soon, Caro and Rutherford will blow us to pieces anyway. So hurry, Kelly, or you won't have a friend left worth saving. Rutherford looks to be landing in the east, Caro in the west. But the mountains there should protect us from the President's attacks, though there is a pass we need to defend. If we can bottle Caro up, we can turn our back to her and face Rutherford's assault head-on. Though there are mountains to the east as well. I know Colonel Rachel Rutherford, and she won't let them get in her way for long.
Initializing MIL-OP console revision 05345. Academy has no research task anymore. Academy has no research task anymore. Your tactical turn has console just revision ended. 05345.
Kelly arrived just in time. I think we'll be able to take whatever Caro and Rutherford can dish out now. But Rutherford, her plan is still a mystery to me. I expected her to launch a total assault, but instead she seems content to support Caro's bid for glory. It just doesn't make sense. Kelly's spy passed on some more information. This Andosia Rutherford needs is produced synthetically, but a dose never lasts her more than a few hours. If the spy is right, and her scientists are close to perfecting a longer-lasting dose, then I can't think of a better target to hit than her research laboratory on Mirth, which is an island to the northeast. We need to hook up with Kelly's forces, then check out a reconnaissance report that Rutherford's troops have discovered an old city in the swamp to the east of Kelly's position. Intelligence says the city used to be an old Aldinium storage site. And if that's true, we need to take it away from her as fast as we can. Besides, it's time to boot her off this rock anyway.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345. Terminating Mil-Op.
It must have wounded Rachel to lose her lab and her chance at eternal youth. But no matter how tortured her existence becomes, I can't let myself feel sorry for her. We succeeded in driving her forces off the island, and now I'm going to destroy President Caro and her army. I don't know who's going to succeed her as president, but I don't care. All I know is there are 3 people who won't have the job, and that's Caro, Rutherford, and me. I'm sickened by all this. And Rutherford, she acts as if she didn't start this war. Her diplomatic efforts grow stronger with every battlefield defeat, and I have no choice but to keep beating her, which is what she wants me to do. She's setting Caro up to be destroyed by me, but I still don't know why. The only natural entrance to Caro's base on the old volcanic island of Ladan is in the south. The crater walls along the coastline are impassable, except for 3 small, well-guarded beaches that seem to lead to the flak batteries covering her perimeter. Now, if we can destroy those defenses, we're going to conquer the island and leave no trace of Caro in our wake.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345.
Tell me you remember me, Bratty.
As if it was yesterday, Rachel.
Do you know where I am?
On the brink of defeat, High Priestess.
You underestimate me.
Halwa.
Halwa, General. While you were arguing with your president, my children liberated your capital. And, General,
Yes, Spider Queen.
it will only be a matter of days before we uncover your spy.
I'm a fool. How could I have missed it? Halwa was there for the taking, and I'm sure Rutherford had that in mind from the beginning. Once she had me and Caro out of Halwa, She could take the city without firing a shot, further earning the respect of a naive populace. Very elegant. And the ex-colonel knows me well enough to know that I also will not attack civilians. But I cannot give up or give in to her. If she really wants to save Hollywood from destruction, then she's going to be the one to back down. Then we'll see how much the High Priestess really cares for Hollywood. We must approach Hollywood from the east, across a wide plain bordered by a river to the south. The defenses around Hollywood are strong, but every defense has its weakness, so good reconnaissance should pay off. Still, we can't wait too long before we attack, because that'll only give her more time to dig in. If we don't make a move soon, we won't be able to drive the High Priestess from the city before the citizens are lost to her charismatic spell. We made contact with Kelly's spy. He's in danger, but already made it to the city limits and will try to move toward us when he can. We need to bring him home in one piece. We owe him that.
Initializing MIL-OP console revision 05345.
Yes, sir.
Terminating MIL-OP.
The only good news lately is that Kelly's got someone on the inside.
High Priestess Rutherford spoke publicly. Her first public appearance ever. And she said she wants peace. I'll bet she does. She begged the raging forces of the enemy, me, me, the enemy, to halt and to remember a time when I was her sergeant and we served the people together. And her charisma worked its predictable charms. Now everyone in Hollywood dreams of Queen Rutherford and King Bratt living happily ever after. I don't think she's in control of her own mind anymore. She is Rachel Rutherford, but she's also the Spider Queen. And I know what happens to a male spider after consummating a courtship. I don't think she could stop herself from destroying me if she wanted to. I must attack Hollywood. I have no choice. I need luck. Luck. And as odd as it sounds, whatever reason, Rachel has left. If we attack the Chromos State Building in the heart of Hollywood, we may be able to drive Rachel and her children from the city without heavy civilian casualties. But to do it, we're going to need to move fast and travel light, and we must not get pinned down.
Initializing MIL-OP console revision 05345. Terminating MIL-OP console revision 05345.
Rachel has retreated to Mirth. There she waits, like a spider in a web, expecting me. Her plans are in shreds. She has nothing left to lose. But I know she's going to do as much damage as she can before she falls. I don't know what to do with the pain I feel for her, except bring it to an end. The beaches of Mirth are quiet, but I have no doubt they're only the first of the Spider Queen's traps. Her base is a fortress, ringed by walls and a protected harbor, with turrets and tanks spread before the fortifications. I would rather go home, but I know there will be no peace until her web is torn from her grasp.
Initializing Mil-Op console revision 05345. Terminating Mil-Op console.
You should have told me we had a son.
And a daughter. Twins. I will not beg for mercy, General.
I wouldn't grant it to you, High Priestess.
Then kill me now. I have failed.
That would be mercy. No. Your disciples will see you as you really are.
I must die!
It's empty, Rachel, so I wouldn't be tempted to take pity on you.